Hi friends! Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and my friend Elle and I are here today to talk to you about some really great books that we think you might like. Now, because it's October, all throughout the month we're going to be talking about books that are really spooky. They could just be books that give you thrills and chills. They could be books that are just silly, but they're all going to be books that have a little bit of a spookiness to them to kind of get you in the season and in the mood for Halloween at the end of the month. So today we've got another few really great books to talk to you guys about. The first one is, and you probably have heard of this one before, Scary Stories to Chill Your Bones. And this is by Alvin Schwartz. Now, this is actually the third book in the series. The first one is the one that you guys have probably heard of before, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And then there's more Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And then this is book number 3, Scary Stories to Chill Your Bones. It's for ages 9 and up, this series. And there's also a movie that came out, I believe it was last year. And we do have that movie on DVD, I believe. I haven't seen it. It's too scary for me. But I know it was really popular. And the thing that is really good about this book and the other 2 books in the series, first of all, they're very short. So you can read it in no time, even if you're not that fast of a reader. And another great thing is because they're short stories, you can just read one at a time if you want. So if you're wanting to do something really spooky before bedtime one night, you can just read a quick short story. Or if you get up before school and you want to read something really quick, you can just pick out one of these stories and go along that way. The thing that I think is the spookiest part of this book and the other 2 are the illustrations. I think they're just very, very creepy. I remember when I was a kid and reading these books, they scared me very much, mostly because of the pictures. I think the illustrations do a really good job at just scaring people. So that is Scary Stories, More Tales to Chill Your Bones. And the next book is called Beanstalker and Other Hilarious Scary Tales. And this is by Kiersten White. Kiersten White, I really enjoy. She is a young adult author that writes some really great books. This was the only book in the children's department by her, so I knew I had to read it, and it did not disappoint. This book is really great if you don't really like scary or spooky things. If you're not into scary or spooky things, then this is a really, really good book to read because most of these stories are supposed to be hilarious. And they take a fairy tale and turn it on its head and make it weird and silly and fun and a little bit spooky, but not really. It's mostly just funny. Like, let me read you a couple of the titles of these stories. Unfair Hair, The Princess and the Pea, Little Dead Riding Hood, Goldilocks and the 3 Scares, Jack the Beanstalker, The Boy Who Cried Zombies, Vampires and Zombies and Stepmothers. Oh my. So you see, they're supposed to be really funny, and I love this book. It's really good. And I think another thing that's really cool is, like this other book we talked about, Scary Stories, these are also short stories. So you can just read them on their own. You don't have to read them all together in a cohesive unit. You can if you want, but you don't have to. They're short stories as well. Super fun and just an overall really good time. Beanstalker. Okay, now, last but not least, we have The Cavendish Home for Boys and Girls. Ooh. This just looks really freaky, doesn't it? This is by Claire Legrand, another author who's written some children's books, but also some young adult books as well. So if you find that you read this and you really enjoy it, you have some other things you can look into as well. This book is for ages 10 and up, and out of all 3 of the books, I think it is definitely the most spooky of the bunch. So if you really want to be scared, this is a good book to pick up. The Cavendish Home for Boys and Girls. This book is about a girl named Victoria who has a perfect life. Perfect home, perfect parents, perfect looks, perfect grades. And then one day her best friend goes missing, Lawrence. And for some reason, nobody seems to care or notice that he's gone missing. So she takes it upon herself to lead the investigation to look for him. And as she does, she realizes that something is just not quite right in her town. That maybe something's been going on that she just didn't notice before. And it all seems to start at the Cavendish Home, which is like a home for young people in this book. Now, this is another book where I thought that the illustrations were just overall very, very creepy. Even when it's a page where there's not much going on, like Lawrence and Victoria walking to school, right? There's just something very creepy about this picture. And all the pictures in this book. They're very unsettling, I guess is the word I want to look for. And then here's another one. Ooh. So this book is really good, but it's also not for the faint of heart. So if you like books that are very scary, this is a good one, especially this time of year. It scared me. I had to sleep with the lights on for a couple nights after we read it. Yeah, it was very scary. But it's also very well written, and it's mystery and fun and thrilling. Highly, highly recommend. Cavendish Home for Boys and Girls. Well, that's what we have for you guys today. I hope they sound fun and interesting to you. If you did like them, please feel free to check them out at the Farmington Community Library. We do have all the books available, and you can pick them up with our curbside service or also come into the building and you can pick them up that way as well. Thanks so much, friends, and have a great rest of the day.